Hey, Ricky. Hey, Ricky. Why did you show me your penis?
Yeah, were you just...
That was weird, right?
I was closing the computer because of your rep. I
thought it was so good. You were like, hell yeah, check out my cock, man.
Yeah, I thought you were
that was me. No.
Okay, we were on different pages there for a second, I guess.
I mean, I'm not. I'll show dick. Like, I'm not crazy.
Listen.
He's a real comic. He'll pull it out.
Yeah, we're not quite there yet.
I'm old school, man.
That's fucking Milton Berle style shit.
You're out. Let's go.
All right.
Did you hear that grunt?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
You all could hear that? I didn't realize
That was. What do you mean we could hear that? That was the creepiest thing. If you didn't do it on purpose,
you could hear that.
Okay, that was every listener's collective sigh as to like what's happening right now.
Basically. Welcome to Can You Laugh About It Now? I am your host, Gator, sitting alongside my co-host, Todd Gursslin here.
Hola.
And then we obviously have RJ Papura back here.
Hola.
And then we have our guest tonight, the very hilarious, from Buffalo, Rick Matthews.
Rick Matthews!
Hi everyone.
Rick,
Hello.
So I love Rick, man. I got to do
I love you.
Thank you very much. I spent that weekend we spent together. It was really a great weekend.
The one in the cabin in Vermont where we butt fucked, or the weekend at the
one where we licked syrup off each other's parts. Yes.
Yes.
But it was maple. It was great. Anyways.
What other syrup would we lick off each other, you weirdo? That's why I can't fuck with Rochester. You guys have different syrups that I don't know about.
I'm talking about the Stavros weekend. You're not going to derail me, all right? I'm going to keep this shit straight. It was a great weekend, and it was fun, and I had a lot of fun with you. We had a really good time, is what I'm trying to say. And it was that weekend when you get to I watch Rick, and I'm like, God damn, Rick is just one of the funniest motherfuckers, dude.
Oh,
you know, I mean, he's from Buffalo, and I know it's like Buffalo Rochester thing, but
I'm the only one who has that, by the way. I am the sole torch carrier of the Rochester Buffalo rivalry, and it's not even that I hate Rochester. It's just we're too close to not have a wrestle. I always try and pick fights.
Yeah,
I don't really care anymore.
A lot of people in Rochester know that Rick is a killer. I mean, we've had him up here for a few shows that I've done, and he's hilarious. He's one of he's one of the funniest people. So I knew when he was coming on, and when we came up with this theme, I knew it was gonna be hilarious. The point is, you know what? Go ahead.
We have Rick Matthews on the podcast.
That's
he
right.
is hilarious, and we are going to be talking about job faux pas or shitty job experiences.
Man, I got fired. I was 18. I was just out of high school, and I was a security guard for just like a security company. And they had me stationed at like a bank. No, it wasn't the bank. It was like a mortgage. It was a big bank complex, like a big building, like a mortgage center. Where I was working on the 4th of July. So everything around there was closed. It was like in Cheektowaga, New York. It was just like everything was. It was 4th of July, and it was like pouring. It was like a shitty 4th of July. But I was in there and I was working, and I went outside for a cigarette, and I was smoking a cigarette, and then I realized that my keys for my car, the scan keys to get into the building, the keys for the building, everything was inside, and the doors locked behind me. So, and this is 1997. So there's no cell phones. There's no cell phones. So I'm outside, and I'm under the little tiny awning, so I wasn't getting rained on, but I just went out to smoke. And all I had on me was a pack of cigarettes and a lighter, and there was nothing near here. So I couldn't call anybody because there's no cell phones, there's no pay phones. The closest gas station was a mile away, and it's pouring. So I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do right now. I did not know what to do. So I ended up walking around the entire building, checking every window, checking every door, doing what a security guard should do instead of taking a nap inside the building. So.
Well, being the security guard, you would think you would know an easy way in.
Well, there was a way that I used to know about. So I went around there, and that was they fixed the problem. They did their job. You know what I mean? Because you report entryway, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So I'm going around, can't find a way in. So I'm hugging the building the whole way around just because I didn't want to get wet because it's pouring. And so I'm just standing outside. I'm I don't know what to do. So I walk around to the back of the place. I'm looking around, and there's no cameras or anything back there. So I was I knew that there was a door that I could just break a little small window, and I could reach in and unlock the door and then get in. So I was like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I have to do. There's no other option.
Right.
There's no other option for me at this time. Plus I'm 18 and I'm an idiot. So I break the window, I get in, I go back to my station quick, the phone's ringing because the alarm went off, you know what I mean? Because the window was broken. So they're like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. I heard a noise. I was investigating when you called. That's why it took me so long for you to answer. So then I went and I filled out a report that somebody threw a rock through the window.
No way. What?
Yeah, so I filled out the report because I had to because the window was broken.
Yeah, of course you did.
So I was like, somebody must have thrown a window or thrown a rock. So I filled out the
You thought it'd be better just to be like, dude, that somebody else threw the rock than just say you like, yeah.
Well, there's no cameras back there, so it was fine. But even this was a better idea to me than walking a mile and a half in the rain to use the payphone to call central office that I didn't even know their number by heart.
Of course.
Like I didn't know
You're
what
18.
to do.
You just fucking yeah.
I could not fathom what to do in this situation.
Can you
Like,
imagine if a real person came in there with like a fucking gun or something that you were like, you know what I mean?
Oh, I would have sucked their dicks to get out of it. Like, yeah, like whatever it would have taken, like it would have been fine. But I just, So I do the paperwork, whatever. Then following week, so I think, I get it. My guy comes at 11 o'clock. I explain the situation to him, the fake one that I invented in my head.
All right.
And he's like, okay, cool. I'll keep an eye out for anybody. So the next week, the guy that runs owns the security company. He's like, hey, I need you to come into my office.
Oh no.
Because I thought it was because of the incident report that I had to fill out more. You know what I mean? So I go in there, and he's like, so listen, you're fired. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, he's like, I'm pretty sure you're the one that broke that window, and you're not going to get a final paycheck because your last paycheck will pretty much cover the cost of the window that we owe HSBC. Yeah, I mean, because it was a whole window. It was still like, that cost probably like $400. Yeah, so that's my last paycheck, and I'm like, I don't understand why you think that I broke in, because I gotta like hold my ground.
Right.
And he's like, well, he's like, there is no cameras around back. That is true, but there are cameras up front, and I saw you pacing around for about a half an hour, checking your pockets over and over again, trying to. I'm like, so he's like, and then all of a sudden, within 20 minutes of you getting frustrated searching your pockets, the window was broken, and then everything was fine.
Oh, dude, what a dummy, dude.
I was like, sir, thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, right. That's hilarious, dude. So so they were like, bye bye.
Oh yeah, rightfully so.
That's amazing, man.
Why do you think it was me?
I was like, what do you mean? Young.
I know, like they wouldn't even need the cameras. Like it would be obvious. You know what I mean?
Trying to be like a little indignant, like how dare you? Like
I'm the security guard. Do you think I really would break into the building that I'm protecting?
The rugs were all wet when you walked in because you were out in the fucking rain.
It was so dumb. Yeah, it was so bad. Like I fired from there. I was just like, okay.
Yep. That's it. That's fucking. Yeah. Sometimes you can't deny it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This was undeniable. There's no way around it.
All right. That is a good. That was. You know what, Rick? Good. Thanks, man. See, it was a nice little story, dude. I appreciate a nice little story. Thank you.
Whoa.
I got fired from Jiffy Lube once. Okay.
How old were you?
I think I was 17, 18 years old.
Okay.
18 probably. I think it was like 18.
Okay. So this was like a
starter
starter
seems like a job you'd have to be 18 for.
Yeah, I think it was 18. But I remember one morning, my sister, who was like little at the time, I mean, way younger, Kate ran into my bedroom and she yells, she's like, Todd, they're giving away free Grateful Dead tickets on the radio right now. And so, like, half asleep, I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, they said you have to drive down to the radio station and you have to go down there, and that's how you get the tickets. It was Weeze, his brother Weeze. I went right down to the station thinking, oh, that's what I have to do. I got to go down there, stopped, got a dozen donuts, and went down there. I'm like, dude, there's nobody around. So I went on the back of the CMF door and I went, and I knocked on there, and they opened up. They're like, what the hell? I'm like, hey, you guys giving away dead tickets? I heard you were. I was down there. I was like all out of breath and shit, and I had donuts in my hand and shit. And so meanwhile, I'm like trying to tell my job. I'm like, look, I have to watch my sisters for a little while. I'm stuck home. So I get there, and Brother Weeze looks at me, and he's like, why do I recognize you? Right? And it's because he was doing a set and shit, and he picked on me, right? Because I had some shirt on, and his joke was, he's like, hey, nice shirt. Only faggots and rock stars wear that shirt, and I don't have.
This is Rick Matthews just jumping in here really quick to say that I do not appreciate the use of that word. And if anyone's getting canceled, it's going to be Todd Gursslin. Thank you, and I'm going to dip out. Carry on, Todd.
First of all, that's what he said to me. So he makes fun of me. Well, the next night I was working at a restaurant. And I was working at a restaurant, and Brother Weiss came in, so he was with all his like homies, and so I went up to him and I said, "Hey," he didn't remember me. I was like, "Hey, nice shirt," and I did the joke back to him. Okay. So listen.
Why?
So
what did you think was gonna happen?
I don't know. I did the joke back to him. He's like, and he was like, "Oh, I got him back in front of all his friends." I was like, "Hey, nice shirt." Blah blah blah. I did the whole thing back to him, and this is the third day in a row. Now I went down there to go get the Grateful Dead tickets, and he's like, "Why do I recognize you?" I'm like, "I'm the dude from the T-shirt story from the whatever," and he's like, "Oh my god!" And he put me on the radio. He's like, "Mother Hooker, get in the radio, you're coming on here." And I was like, "What?" So he put me on there. He ended up giving me Dead tickets, so they heard me all at Jiffy Lube sitting there fucking, "Oh dude, I'm fucking going to the Grateful Dead concert. I'm fucking just got donuts from here with Cindy Pierce and Gussie or whatever the hell her name was."
It's a good way to get fired.
No, I mean, good way to get fired. I got Dead tickets. And I got to get on the radio and make myself look like a douchebag, just like I did just now, passing it over to you. How do you like that?
Well, was it a good show? Like, was it a good Dead show? Was it worth getting fired? Yeah.
It would have been a 1991 Dead show with Steve Miller Band, I believe, opening up.
I was 3.
Where was it?
It was up in Buffalo, actually. It was at Rich Stadium.
Oh, was it Rich Stadium?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I remember that. I remember that show.
Yeah, and so back then, if you got tickets, especially from a radio show, it wasn't just like, you got like GA floor or some shit.
Backstage passes or
no,
something?
No, they weren't backstage passes, but they were GA floor. They were nice tickets, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it was fucking a blast,
Was it worth
dude.
getting fired?
Was it... I mean...
He sucked at the job anyway.
Dude, I was horrible at the job. I am not a car person. I just did it because I needed a fucking job. You know what I mean? I think I just got back from getting kicked out of the Marines at that point, so I just needed a job, so I...
You'd gotten fired from 2 things in a row?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, the Marines just don't fire everyone, so that's pretty impressive.
No, I got fired from the Marines, dude. They literally were like, just let him go.
What did you do?
So I ended up like cutting into my arm with a razor. Like they didn't give you any real razors, so I had like a shaving razor with like the one blade in it. And so I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna carve home in my arm. Not even in like the veiny bottom part where like you might want to kill yourself. Like I did it on the top. This is pre-tattoos, and I just spelled home. And I was like, this is gonna get me home. Fuck this. And I hated it, dude. I hated the Marines. I was not a Marine. I didn't want anything to do with the Marines. Maybe
I
this
like that. You went after it like a teenage girl. That's awesome.
Dude, I did, dude. I fucking put on the cure, dude. I did. I grabbed my fucking shoe polish, put it on my eyes.
What were you surprised by? Like, what about boot camp surprised you?
The fact that people were pissing in their pants all the time and shit.
There wasn't weed. There was no drugs
nobody
there.
let me listen to trucking at all the whole time I was there. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm saying that, yeah, but didn't you see Full Metal Jacket before you like went into Marine boot camp? Like, did you like think it was like that's just a movie?
Dude, I'm
They're gonna be
17.
so cool.
I didn't even sign up. The reason I signed up is because a girl thought she'd be funny and put my name on the recruiting list when he was there at the lunch during high school. I was like a senior. I was like a senior, and she's like, "I'm going to put Todd's name down," and so she put my name down, and then he's calling. Like, for real. I'm like, dude, I didn't put my fucking... That's not me. And he's like, don't you want to make your dad proud? And I was like, you know what, dude? I actually do want to make my dad proud. Let's keep going. Let's keep talking about this. And then, he's telling me shit like, dude, they don't really yell at you or swear at you there. Like, I'm fucking 17, 18 years old. The furthest thing you could possibly think of a Marine. You know what I mean? Like, I just started going to Dead shows. I'm taking mushrooms. But I just knew that I needed to do something with my life. And, the whole old man thing, that hangs over people pretty heavy, dude. So I thought that was going to be the thing that was like, bro, my dad's finally going to look at me as being like, the man that, because he was in the military, dude.
So when you couldn't make him proud through the Marines, you thought, I'll make him proud through a heroin addiction. That was the next logical step for you?
That got way deeper than I fucking wanted that story to.
No, that's good.
It's just a conversation, baby. Yeah. It's good. It's good stuff.
RJ, what do you got, man? How you doing, RJ?
I'm good.
Congratulations, dude.
For what?
Just for fucking being alive still, man.
Not killing myself. That is a big accomplishment.
Congratulations, sir.
I've only been fired once. It was when I was living in New York. I had a bunch of temp jobs, and the only full-time job I had was for a food delivery company called Savory. So they delivered to like Rockefeller Center and like a bunch of buildings in Midtown. basically I just had to do data entry. And then 2 weeks after I got the job, the lady who hired me left the company for a different job, which sucked because she was really nice. She was down to earth and she was like really patient with me learning stuff. So then maybe about a week after she left, the lady like way above her on the company hierarchy takes me out to lunch and starts asking me all these questions like, so we know you were hired mainly for data entry, but do you have any experience on the phones or any experience with customer service?
Okay.
It was a secondary interview, essentially. I said no to these things because I'm dumb.
Okay.
And then about at the end of that week, they called me in at the end of the day and fired me. So they basically gave me a chance to prove that I was worthy of having a job still. And I just said, no, I don't have any of those skills that you need.
Your lack of self-confidence is fucking brutal, dude.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not good at talking to people. I'm not going to bank my entire position on it with this company.
Oh, my God.
So this is when you went to New York to do comedy?
Yeah.
And you're using the excuse that I'm not good at talking?
Well, in conversation.
So wait a second. So when you're out to dinner with this lady,
lunch. It wasn't like a
lunch.
Yeah.
So why did you? But in your right, it wasn't a date. But why were you there? In your mind, why did you think you were there with her then?
I see. That was the thing. Like looking back, I should have known that she was evaluating
she was just like,
my
we're
talents.
having lunch together. She's my friend,
I thought.
I'm her friend.
Well, I thought it was like a thing where like the new manager was trying to get acquainted with the staff because she didn't hire me. I wasn't like the one that she had interviewed. Well, I'm dumb, Rick. I don't know.
No, I get it. I'm dumb too. It's fine.
I just thought she was. I just thought she was being super cool and taking me out to Dunkin'. You know?
Oh, it was Dunkin'.
Yeah.
That sounds very businessy though.
Dunkin' Donuts.
That's not lunch.
That's Dunkin'
not a lunch.
Toys.
Like that's not like that's a different vibe than we went out to lunch. She bought you Dunkin' Donuts and you guys talked for a minute. You know
well, we were there for about a half hour, 40 minutes or so.
You were at Dunkin's for a half hour?
Yeah.
How the fuck did you do
was
that?
She asking you like...
No, hold on. Gator was like, I want a donut hole. And then all of a sudden this motherfucker comes from out of nowhere with a box of donut holes. I'm like, ask for something else. This is fun.
I want a steak. That'd be awesome.
Producers are amazing.
That's wow, that's pretty fucking wild, man.
Yeah, I'm dumb. That's the long and short of it.
They fired you at their like right at that.
So they fired me at the end of the week, and then like it was funny because that morning, like some of the like coworkers I had, this is the first time I'd ever had a full-time job with people my age. So that morning, people were like making plans to go out that night because it was Friday, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll text you at the end of the day, or like when you're done with open mics, and see where we're at the end of the day." And then they see me like getting escorted out. Because they had to walk me out of the building. And I was like,
oh, yeah, I have one of those jobs where I had to get escorted out.
Yeah, and
I've been fired a couple times. That was just the one story I told you guys.
I'm not going to throw a keyboard. Like, I get it. I understand that I blew my shot to keep this position. I'm not mad at anybody but myself. You don't have to. But they like
strong arm you out the door.
Yeah, they had like a hand on my shoulder. I wasn't allowed to talk to anybody.
Yeah, man.
So then I got like texts at the end of the day being like, we were so sorry. We didn't know you were getting fired.
That's hilarious.
Cutthroat, man.
Yeah.
Mother, you don't fuck them anyways, dude. You're too
I
good
mean,
for
they
them.
were good people. I was just dumb.
No, they weren't. They were playing games, dude. If you want to go on an interview, say this is an interview. You're too autistic to not lay it fucking black and white like that, dude.
Essentially.
You know what I mean? They're fucking
Once
playing
again, this is Rick Matthews saying that Todd's views are not necessarily
whatever,
my own.
dude. Let's talk. Keep it. I mean, they should say we're going on an interview. Is my point.
Well, they could have been a little more like smash me over the head with it.
They wanted to get rid of you before that. They were hoping maybe you would find something, a glimpse of fucking anything within you.
Then she's like, "Can you read?" And he's like, "No."
Right.
What's Gator got?
Gator has never been fired.
Oh, well, fuck you.
All right, well, thanks for coming today, you guys. It's been great.
I fired somebody before.
Ooh. Oh,
but
shit.
I was just going to talk about a shitty job experience that I had.
Let's do it.
But I could do, which one would you prefer?
I want whatever one you feel best about, man. Which one in your heart feels better?
I'll just talk about the shitty job I had. It sounds weird to be like, the one I feel best about is when I fired somebody.
Hell yeah.
It's kind of effed up.
Explain this to your kids, Doug.
Did it right before Christmas. No, actually, yeah. Anyway, I worked for this business. It was a restaurant, and I was a server / bartender there.
and the owner was like some dude that I think he had gone to prison before. So he was just real rough and tumble and kind of rude. But that was cool because I was like, okay, I'm cool. But it just got kind of weird when I was working there because my manager all the time would slide up behind me and be like, behind you, inside you. And I'd be like, bruh. So it was just such an uncomfortable place to work. But like at one point, our checks started bouncing. And I would be like, am I getting my money? I wasn't like mad about it, but I also was like, I don't work for free, you know?
Yeah.
But it kept happening and happening and happening. And so I remember one day it happened again, and I went up to him and I was like, hey man, what's going on? Because like this is like the 5th time that our checks have bounced. Like I need my money.
See, 5th time is that's many bounce checks to be working for somewhere, dude.
Yeah. And so I'm like, where's my money? And he's like, oh, I got a payroll. The paychecks got messed up. I got to call them. But I was working a split shift, so I was coming back to do dinner. He's like, but I'll have your money for you after dinner. And I was like, all right, word. So I came back, worked the dinner shift, come up to him after. I'm like, hey, man, did you figure out the paychecks?
Yeah.
And he was like, nah, what you make last week? And I was like, I worked different hours the other week. Like, it's not going to be the same. Yeah. So he's like, nah, I ain't got it. And so I was like, all right, man, this is kind of starting to piss me off a little bit. And so he gets mad at me. He's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You think I need your little bit ass of money? You think I need $250? I was like, maybe, because you sure don't got it to give me my money.
You're like, well, I do.
Then he starts like getting mad at me, and like he's starting to yell and curse at me and stuff. And I was just like, yo, it's not this serious. We'll figure it out tomorrow. I'm about to leave. But he's still going in on me, like cursing and yelling. And so I basically tried to politely excuse myself because I knew it just wasn't going a good way. So I was like, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. I gotta go. And I turn around to walk away, and he goes, pissed me off so fucking bad.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
I'm scared.
How dare you fucking walk away from me?
Oh shit.
And then I do not like to be disrespected. So I turned around, and he was like squared up, puffed out chest, like this motherfucker wanted to fight me. And I had this moment where I was like, I'm about to fight my boss, because he was coming at me, and I was like, nope, leave. And then I went home mad as hell, and then still was gonna go to work the next day, and I woke up still mad, and I was like, nah, you're gonna fight him if you go there. So that's the first time I ever quit a job without two weeks notice, because he was a psycho.
You should have snuck up.
No, you made the right move. He would have killed you in the cooler or something. Like,
probably. He was crazy. I hate that motherfucker.
He did not like he did not like being challenged.
No. Well, but I tried to like nicely like excuse myself, but he was like so offended. How dare you walk? And I was like, what you gonna do about it? And I'm not that kind of person. I don't really like confrontation, but if you want to bring it to me, I'll step up to the plate. So I really felt that way. I was like, I'm about to fight a full-grown man who, number one, has been to prison. Maybe I should go the fuck home.
Yep.
Damn.
Not bad.
Was he the one that said that shit to you though? When it would be like behind you?
No, that was my manager.
Oh,
everything about that job was absolutely awful.
Jesus Christ!
It was absolutely awful.
That's wild. I mean, like the first time, especially being a female.
That's the last time she went to Daisy Dukes, you guys.
Yeah,
It was Mark Hippolito the whole time.
Oh, dun.
Just kidding, Mark.
Right. And I would have gotten away with it too.
That story.
Yeah, it was wild. It was a shitty time. But I had to fire the guy I had to fire. This is just kind of a quick story. I was like a general manager or assistant manager at this place.
Yeah.
And we were setting up a new store. It was like a kind of like a TJ Maxx or Bed Bath & Beyond kind of situation. So we're setting up a store, and I'm sending all these employees out with carts to like stock the shelves and get everything set up. And then I realized, I'm like, hey, anybody seen so-and-so? And one of the girls goes, you don't know? And I was like, no, what? He's like, oh, he's probably in this spot. So I was like, what are you talking about? There was existing shelving that we were putting our stuff in front of. This dude had taken a ceiling tile, leaned it up against that shelving, and then he had stolen blankets, food, a CD player,
books.
He was just behind the shelves, just chilling, eating snacks, like every time that he clocked into work. So we find that out, and so we go to talk to him, and he's like, I didn't do that. And I was like, bruh, we saw all your stuff in there. We know that you did it. And I was like, and also you keep trying to sell everybody cocaine, like, because he was trying to sell everyone cocaine all the time, and I'm like, I'm your manager. Enough. Why are you asking if I want cocaine?
Working in restaurants, though, cocaine and restaurants go fucking hand in hand.
But this wasn't a restaurant. This was like a freaking TJ Maxx store or something.
Dude, TJ Maxx and cocaine go hand in hand.
Take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more. Well, I've been working in this factory now on 15 years. All this time I watch my woman drowning in a pool of tears. I've seen a lot of good folks die when they had a lot of bills to pay. I'd give the shirt right off of my back if I could only say.
You guys ever jerk off at work or have sex at work?
Not at work.
Let's spice this fucker up.
All right, both.
I've pretty much jerked off at every job I've ever worked at.
Yeah, I believe.
Wow.
Thank you. I believe that is bringing the power back as you should, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, not like in the place, but like go to the bathroom, take care of it. When I was a bill collector, definitely. When I worked at a call center, I got fired from that job for hanging up on 337 people like in the day. Like I just hung up. I was just
you gotta drop a load. You gotta drop a load.
What? Yeah, it's you work there, you get like stressed out or pent up, or you're like the next cubicle over, she smells good. You're just like, I gotta go take care of this right now. I can't concentrate.
That's right.
I'm gonna start smelling bad. I didn't realize just if I smell good, people were like, "Oh, I gotta go."
Like if you're wearing like Victoria's Secret like Love Spell, done. I'm over. I'm going.
He's got his favorite lined up.
Oh yeah, it's my trigger smell. I'm like, go to the bathroom. Daddy's got to empty out.
Oh God!
I know. I remember when I was a teenager and I was doing community service. I went in the bathroom. I was like, "This is community service. Fuck it, they're not paying me." I fucking drop a fucking load, dude. That was my community service, dude.
Were you not nervous about getting caught at work? I would be so scared.
I wasn't yelling. First of all, I wasn't like.
There's like as long as the door's closed, somebody just sees somebody sitting.
Yeah.
Oh, so they don't know what you're doing in there.
So you had a one-person bathroom. It wasn't like a row of stalls.
The stall door. I'm not in there going.
But like, what happens when they walk in and they're like, "Smells like semen"? Like, doesn't that happen?
That's the thing I'm nervous about. I don't know if cum smells.
So you've had sex at work and when I
worked at a gas station, I got fired for that too. Not fired for that.
Not the sex.
Well, what happened was I worked overnights at this gas station. I was like assistant manager, and I like went in the back and did that, and then my boss was like, "Why did you close the store for 20 minutes?" At like 1:30 in the morning. I was like, "I was stocking the shelves." She's like, I never learned about cameras really, so I was like, "I was stocking the shelves." He's like, "No, you went back there with your girlfriend." I'm like, "Okay," and he's like, "But that's not why I got fired." He's like, "And you were just scratching off lottery tickets on camera," and I was like, "Okay, you're right."
Foiled again by the camera.
You want to hear another really fucked up thing I used to do at my job? This is really fucked up, dude. I used to have an elevator and I used to deliver the food to the old people on the elevator because, it was like 6 floors, so they had to have an elevator because there was so many old people. So I used to fucking stop the elevator, dude, and pretend like, oh, fuck, it's stuck, so I could just like chill out for a little while, dude, and fucking hang out on the elevator.
You're starving the elderly?
They were fine. They were fine. And but then one time I did it, and I actually stuck and broke the elevator, so I was actually fucking stuck on the fucking elevator.
For how long?
Oh, I mean, it was like an hour and a half or something like that, which is like not a long time in a work day, but it's a long time to be stuck in a fucking elevator, dude.
Another time I was a security guard. This is when I was like 23, 22. I was downtown Buffalo, this like apartment complex, like a bunch of buildings in a row, like 13 stars, like it was almost the projects, but it wasn't. It was like Marine. They're called the Marine Drive Apartments, and they're just like these 5 stone buildings, and like right downtown by like the marina.
All right.
I was a security guard there, but it was like subsidized housing. Like it wasn't projects.
So you got another security job after being fired from the other security job.
Yeah, the guy didn't give me a bad reference. He told me he'd take care of me and not give me a bad reference. Yeah, yeah. Because he knew my cousin, so I got hooked up with it. But this new one, I was just there, and it was like I used to work overnights there. And I ended up befriending one of the girls that lived in this apartment complex. And like when I was doing rounds at night, I'd really just be like sitting in her apartment watching movies at like 2 a.m, or like sitting up on the roof, just hanging out, like looking at Buffalo skyline at night, where I'm just like look around and be like, that counts as a round. I quit that job though because I couldn't get off for a Halloween party.
Yeah, that's right. Fucking Halloween parties rule. I know.
Yeah, it was at my house. I had to.
I used to work at the Jewish home and sleep for 7 hours and then do my job in fucking 15 minutes at the end of the night and leave.
Yeah, you'd work your ass off for a minute and then be done.
Yeah, dude, I would fucking bust my ass and then be out of there, dude. Then go hit on the old solid. Jewish ladies, dude. You know what I mean?
Ooh, yeah, old timey.
Yeah, you look at the ones with the little tats, like me. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. What? I'm just saying them.
Ew.
What? They might have money. What's wrong with that?
Oh, I thought it was
a Holocaust
being in an
joke.
old Jewish home with tattoos on their arms.
That's what I thought too.
Holocaust?
That's what I thought
like
too.
The number tattoo. That's why I was like,
they're gonna have
an old
money.
Jew with tattoo on their arms. What do you think we were gonna think?
I don't like you guys are fucking disgusting people, dude.
You're disgusting.
That is fucked up, man.
Rick Matthews,
Listen,
do not condone a single thing.
Thank you for coming. I honestly,
thanks for having me, you guys. This was fun.
This is our second time on doing this on Zoom, so it's a little fucking whacked out, but it's all right.
I thought it was fine.
It works.
I'd rather be sitting there with you guys, but we'll do that again sometime.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
What's up? You got any gigs coming up?
Check out my podcast. Nobody Watches Everything is what it's called. Nobody Watches Everything.
And your co-host?
It's with me. Clayton Williams is my co-host. He's a super funny comic, also from Buffalo, one of my best friends. We watch movies and we talk shit about them. Even if we like them, we talk shit and we talk good things. And it's just a good and fun-loving movie podcast.
I've seen some of the movies that you've done, and I've seen some of the posts, and I always like, damn, that's a really great movie to fucking riff on and talk about. So it is. It looks really fucking cool, man.
Yeah, we're wrapping up our second season right now.
Nice.
The theme for this season was we're talking about our movies we haven't seen in forever that we loved back in the day. See if they hold up. That's our theme for this.
Nice.
Thing. Yeah, and it's been fun. It's ruined some movies. Like movies we used to love aren't so good anymore when you watch them when you're old.
Yeah.
Like what?
And Time Bandits turned out to be a pretty poor,
I didn't like that when
movie.
I was a kid either, though.
I loved it when I was a kid. Van Wilder is what started the whole thing. That movie turned out to fucking just be very problematic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that was
Boondock
right.
Saints is nowhere near as cool as every white kid thought
I
it was
agree.
back in
I agree.
'99. Like, you watch that again, you're like, this isn't that good. Yeah, it sucks. But other movies like Copycat still hold up and are super cool. Mighty Ducks is still cool.
Here's a question for you before we wrap this up, okay? I'm going to go the opposite route. And this is has nothing to do with the theme. I'm just interested. Is instead of a movie that holds up, what's a movie that maybe back in the day was like, but you watch it now and you're like, damn, I enjoy that movie so much more now than I did back then.
Well, we did Napoleon Dynamite. And that's a movie where the first time I saw that movie, I hated it.
You thought it was stupid.
And then the second time I saw that movie, I watched the first time, hated it. Then the ongoing weeks, I found myself quoting it with other people, and I was like, I need to give this thing another chance. If I'm quoting it, something's going on.
Yeah.
So I watched it again, and then I loved it. And then it's been a while. We watched it for this season, and then I watched it for the podcast again for the first time in a while, and I kind of didn't like it again. And then during the podcast, Clayton didn't like it either. During the podcast, while we're talking about the movie, the exact same thing happened again. Where I was where all of a sudden we're laughing about all these fucking scenes in the movie. Yeah. And I'm like, holy fuck, it happened again. Where the movie just sits there and it's like a dud.
That is like the inception. That was like the inception of answers right there. It was like an answer with inside of an answer with inside. That's cool, man.
And I plugged the podcast at the same time.
You got
that's
and
a pro
Clayton's
move right
hilarious.
There. And Clayton is so funny. I love doing this podcast with him because it really doesn't feel like a podcast. It's just us. It's basically just listening to us shoot the shit about a movie for an hour. That's really, we're just off in weird random zones. We go on side bends. We'll talk about the movie probably for 25 minutes of that hour-long podcast. The rest of it is going on side stars. What about this movie and this director? You know what I mean? And flipping around and scooting around, laughing about nonsense.
That's dope, dude. That sounds fun too. I'm into that shit. I'm into movies, and I get really weird with details like that. Yeah, I hope people go check it out, man. And it looks like you really love doing it because I can tell you get all fired up when you're talking about it, dude.
Yeah, well, I love talk. I could talk about movies for hours on end. That's my favorite. Movies or music, I'm in. Comedy's just what I do to supplement cool conversations.
Yeah, I get that, and they're barely cool as it is. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's keep this fucking train moving, guys.
Let's roll out.
All right, Mr. Rick Matthews. Go find Rick. Go see Rick. Appreciate you. Don't get fired from your job.
Let's hang out soon. Let's do a show or something. Let's hang out.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'd love that.
Let's do it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, brother.
Let's do a show.
In a suit and in a tie, I look so lit, I wanna tell crazy pace. I become a mental case.
Hey, thanks for listening to episode 10 of Can You Laugh About It Now? You guys got to hear about Rick Matthews learning how security cameras work. Todd went on the radio to announce he was ditching work. Gator steps up to the man, and I have no discernible business skills. We'll be back in a couple weeks with New York City comic Phil Parker. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all that bullshit, puke noise. Have a good time. Thanks for listening. Bye.